4 weeks ago, the first The LEGO Crew MOC contest got announced, and we received a total of 87 entries. The best 28 builds got qualified for the next round, and I will show you them now. I really like the overall idea and landscape of this MOC, and the black border creates a clean look. The minifigures are simple but effective. You don't need expensive custom printed minifigures to create a cool MOC. I absolutely love the detail of the hidden weapons. The elevation created by the curved and wedged plates is so smooth. The Puck 36 and the arch are nice details to round the building up. You don't see a lot of airfield MOCs, and especially none related to Vietnam War, but Brickboards did an excellent job recreating one of these. The bunker design of this Italian front related build is so unique. I really like the small details, like the soldier holding a binocular as well as a soldier just loading up the Opel Blitz. You can also find my custom designed Flak 36. This is a perfect example that a good MOC doesn't have to be too big. I really like the black frame, including the 1918 lettering. The custom tank is a cool addition, and the simple British minifigure does a job. The techniques which were used to create this rounded shape of the underground of Berlin MOC is just brilliant. The builder really captured the look of Berlin in 1945. Let's continue with this really unique and colorful World War I build, but please don't use World War II figures in your next World War I build. I have to say that this is one of my most favorite entries, but please be careful with the use of SS helmets for Wehrmacht figures. I also recommend using a proper background for your future builds. Here's the next and probably best World War I MOC until now. The landscaping is fantastic, but please improve your video editing skills. I would recommend using music next time. Let's continue with the first Pacific War themed build. The landscape is quite well done, and you did an excellent job with the exploding bunker in the back. Now this is such a unique and interesting build. I really like the overall idea, and the house design is just perfect. The light effects are an amazing addition as well. This Eastern Front related build has a beautiful foliage. I really like how you equip the minifigures and post them into the MOC. The only thing I was missing was an overview picture. The rail design for this Battle of France MOC is just perfect. Everything in this MOC blends in together so well. The only thing I was missing is a cinematic show. This interesting build depicts a battle in the rice fields of Vietnam. The builder captured the jungle look of Vietnam so good. The only thing I will recommend is using 1x instead of 3x track links for the M113. This beautiful recreation of a forest just stands out. I appreciate the hard work of painting your own World War II LEGO soldiers. The overall look of this build feels just so real and blends in perfectly with the background. This builder used a pretty interesting technique for the bushes. The colors work great together and captures the look of Hütgen Forest pretty good. Let's continue with this interesting build. The shape and design of the bunker is just perfect. I'm also a big fan of the bunker. All the colors work great together. This interesting house design is a true eye-catcher. All the little details work just so great together, and the minifig positioning fits the vibe of the build. The build looks simple, but I really appreciate the foliage and the positioning of the puck. The transitions between the dark tan and green area is what makes the build stands out. The banded tree design is pretty interesting, and the panther is nice geared up. We also get some nice action shots of the soldiers, but I would love to hear some music in your next video. Here's the next Hütgen Forest build, but this one is pretty different than the ones we've seen before. I really like the overall landscape and how you created the ambush by the Americans. Let's continue with my personal top 7 of this contest. Harbors like this one are way too underrepresented in the world of LEGO World War II MOCs. I just love the overall look of this build and the design for the vehicles. The fact that you didn't need any custom printed minifigures to create a good looking World War II MOC is just great. MOC Motion probably created the best of all 87 MOCs. The design of the houses, the street and the vehicles is just so great. And all the unique minifigures fit perfectly the Siege of Budapest. You really did a great job building this man. The best Vietnam build of this contest was made by YouTube Brick Builds. He recreated the Battle of Hamburger Hill just so well. The gear and overall look of the minifigures is greatly executed and the overall look of it is just perfect. This is a content creator I've never heard before, but I hope I will see more content in the near future, because this is great, sir. The house as well as the pattern next to it is just so well designed. And it also features a great interior. The best World War I related build was created by Scout Trooper Bricks. The landscape is outstanding and the build features all the needed details you want to see in the Battle of Mogadishu mock. This is another creator I've never heard before, but I'm glad that I found you. The landscape looks so real. I love the roof design, the sunflower field and the minifigures used in this build. There's so much action going on and it feels like you are at the battlefield. You did a great job, man, and I wouldn't change anything. And the last finalist is Bricktail's build. The snowy hill is just so smooth and the destroyed house blends in well. I really like the combination of all the colors and the minifigure positioning. The only thing I would recommend using some less minifigures in such small builds. Other than that, yet again a great build. All of the shown builders have qualified for the next round and here you can see how all the groups are separated. The best build of each group will qualify for the semi-final and the best 5 of the second places from the different group will qualify for the semi-final as well, so a total of 12 different builders can qualify for the semi-final. All rules are the same and please comment your entry in the comments down below of this video. You will have time to build a mock until August 4th. Let's jump into some honorable mentions and please don't be mad if you haven't made it into the next round. There were so many great builds and I really appreciate every single entry. First we take a look at 5 builds which were great but haven't made it into the next round because fake figures were used and this wasn't allowed. Nevertheless, Clone Bricks created a great looking battle and overall video. This Battle of Berlin video is full of great details. The builder did a great job recreating all the destroyed buildings and the rubble. This huge recreation of a French city is so cool to watch. I can definitely recommend watching the whole video if you don't want to miss any details. This D-Day build is probably inspired by the Brixer, but nevertheless the builder made a great job recreating D-Day in LEGO. Yet again a D-Day build and yet again probably inspired by the Brixer, nevertheless such a cool build, including my Higgins boat, I appreciate that. Let's continue with all the honorable mentions from these guys you can see on the screen right now. I really like the overall layout of this build, but the houses and the street design is pretty simple. Nevertheless, a cool Battle of Mogadishu mock. This is overall a pretty solid World War II mock, but I think the landscape is just too flat and I'm missing details. But you made some great action shots for your figures. I really like this King Tiger, especially the turret, but the overall build also missing some details again. The transitions between the green and dark tan area could be smoother and the houses definitely need some rework. Yet again great vehicles and the King Tiger is even better than the one we have seen before, but the transitions between all the different colors aren't that smooth. The idea of building a Battle of Shanghai mock is just so unique and I really like it, but the design of the street and the buildings is pretty simple and missing details. The interior of one of the buildings is interesting but yet again too simple. Combat Brick Productions created a great video, but the landscape is missing details and I don't recommend using only big plates for it. The house is also pretty simple and has some annoying gaps. The idea of the build is pretty cool, but you definitely have to improve the landscape and the bunker needs a final touch in my opinion. And don't forget to take an overview picture next time. This Battle of the Bulk mock missing some elevations in the landscape and the trees are pretty simple. But I really like the crater and the transitions to the street is pretty clean. The forest part of this build looks pretty cool and I really like the emplacement created by the Germans. But you definitely should improve the transitions between the rock and the green area. The overall look of this build is pretty cool, but it again missing details. I recommend the use of more different pieces to create an interesting look, but I enjoyed the fig positioning and thank you for using my Panzer III. Yet again this build had a great layout and I really enjoyed watching the overall video, but the mock feels unfinished to me, which is because you probably ran out of pieces, so I recommend building smaller scaled mocks for now. The techniques and the freeform of this mock is great, but I don't really get the context of this build. This builder created some awesome scenes related to the Battle of Dunkirk. The video is well edited and I really enjoyed watching it, but again the mock feels unfinished. Yet again a great D-Day build, and the video is definitely worth a watch. I really like all the details you included at the beach, but the hill is definitely missing of them. The slope pieces for the hill could be smoother and you definitely have to add some foliage pieces to the top of the build. This is a nice looking small diorama. You could improve the hill by using some rounded pieces, and I definitely recommend using tiles for the snow. This unique build represents the Ruhr Uprising and I never have seen a build like this before, so great job. But the overall build is just too straight and seems kind of blocky. Yet again a unique build, but the street and house design is again too simple. I would also love to see a better photo quality of this build. And to sum it up, here's again a build of the Battle of the Bulk. The builder recreated the battle quite well, but the use of all the 2x2 dark tan tiles doesn't look too smooth. I would definitely recommend using more white tiles instead of the dark tan ones. There are even more builds, so don't forget to check the playlist, and you can also find some additional builds in the description of this video down below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.